Hi, and welcome to Rise, Heal, and Grow. I'm Leah M. Hill. This show is a podcast production of Apollo Sunrise Center, which is a health, wellness, and spiritual retreat center in Merrimack, Massachusetts. On this show, we shine the light on those who nurture wellness and inspire positive change. My guest today is Cindy Moore. She is a lifelong resident of the North Shore of Massachusetts. She is a real estate broker and the founder of the Moore Real Estate Team. Welcome, Cindy.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. It's great to be here and to have you here. And I want to just start off with, first of all, you've been a respected name in the North Shore area for many, many years. And what really inspired you to get into, to choose real estate brokerage? How did you end up there?
Well, I have been working in real estate for quite some time, and a couple that I know very well from Peabody, their names are Kathy and Dave Gravel. They own a company called Grayvock in Peabody, and they're part of the Peabody Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
I've known them for a very long time, and I helped them sell their house in Peabody and buy a condo in Amesbury. And after that, we were at a Christmas party for the chamber, and Dave Gravel said to me, I think that you should go out on your own. And
really?
Yeah.
It was just like that inspiration. Just like you hadn't thought of it.
Nope. I never thought of it. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. And then I went home and I thought about it, and I prayed about it. And the next thing I know, I'm putting together a business plan, and there you go. Yeah.
I love it. I love it when that kind of inspiration comes to you, because it's like sometimes we can't see it ourselves, when we're ready for the next step.
Yep.
But here you were in the real estate industry for all these years. You had known about it and probably just figured you were going to keep doing what you were doing.
I probably would have if he hadn't had almost challenged me, and I'm always up for the challenge. So I know Dave is and Kathy are both very happy that I decided to do what I did.
Well, absolutely, and I think you are too.
I am.
Just to prove to yourself that you can do it, and that you can, that you did it all on your own, but with the support of other people. You have people supporting you and helping you along the way. But now to create something that has been such a vision of yours for so long.
Yeah, and my family had a dealership at Moore GMC, and I think my dad was really happy to have me put our name back in a company again. So it was really good for me to be able to do that.
Right. And so were you always thinking about, even before you got into real estate originally, were you always thinking about you liked houses or liked sales, or was there anything?
Well, I've always been in sales my whole life,
okay.
But I really did love homes, and when I took a brief pause from insurance when I worked for my dad at Moore GMC, that's when I started my curiosity and decided to go and take the classes and to become an agent. So
to do it, because you were probably already doing that anyway, doing a lot of that kind of selling that you talked about, and talking about the houses and how to sell houses, and then it probably was just a natural step.
Yeah, well, I was insuring houses for a long time before that.
Oh, and so you're even familiar with that, right?
Yeah, so then selling them was just a natural curiosity.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, great. So let's talk about your family, your big family.
Yeah, I'm the seventh child of 10. There's 7 girls, 3 boys.
Wow.
And I grew up in Peabody, and from a very Catholic, I always say to my mom, who passed this past July, that I always appreciated that she brought us up with integrity and brought us up in a good home where we learned values and made us good people. So thanks, Mom.
Yeah, and I had the pleasure of meeting your mom a few times before she passed, and she was such a lovely woman. And I mean, to accomplish that with all of those children and that household and that family, to be able to bring you up with that honesty and integrity is so powerful, because it's like, how did she do it? You don't know how she did it.
If I asked my mom if she was here and I asked how she did it, she would tell us that God helped her. So,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, totally. That makes sense. So how did growing up in a family like that shape who you are in your career today? Did it give you skills? I mean, I'm thinking, I'm from an Italian family. If we wanted something, we had to yell to get it, because, and I'm figuring you probably did too.
Right.
It's like, you can't be quiet, otherwise you're not going to get anything at the dinner table, right? You gotta yell for it. So what was that like?
I believe that growing up in a big family made me get along with a lot of different personalities, right?
Yeah.
So there's always,
Yeah.
a lot of different personalities that I had no choice but to deal with when I was growing up. So
Right.
I think it helps me relate to a lot of people.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
And I'm
Totally.
not afraid of
Yeah.
a crowd or a room of people. Like I can walk into a room and I'm not intimidated by it. I can just walk up and talk to people, which is a skill.
That is a skill,
Yeah.
because I'm the opposite. I walk into a crowd, I'm like, woo, okay, I've got a time limit here of when I'm going to shut down after a certain amount of time. But
Yep.
yeah, but your energy gets renewed and from being around people.
It definitely does.
From that, I bet it was from growing up in that environment. That's fascinating.
Thanks.
I love that. So let's talk about the other things you do. Not only are you a real estate agent, you're also an insurance agent.
Yep, I'm an insurance agent with
Wow.
Optimum Insurance, which is out of Hamilton, Mass. Home, auto, and business insurance is what we mainly do. I have been in insurance for about 25 years. So.
Yeah, and I know, what you had said to me in the past was that you can do it in your sleep because you've done it so many times, so many policies, and what makes you different is you review the policies every year. Instead of just signing a policy for home and auto or doing the bundle, which thank you, you did save it saved me a lot of money on my home and auto insurance too. But it's like, not just like leaving you after that, leaving the customer. It's keeping that contact every year.
So I have told a lot of people and a lot of other agents in my career that I do follow the client. I don't like to just sell them something and then they never hear from me again. A lot of agents don't do that, but I love the personal touch with my clients. If there's something going on with my clients, I genuinely want to know, and I want to help them through anything they have, whether it be a claim or a missed payment or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So I'm very hands-on.
Right. And I think that goes to, how you live your motto of your company motto, which is honesty, integrity, and commitment. I mean, you talked about how you learned about integrity and honesty in your family starting young, but then the commitment sounds like it came from being in business for so long and not like leaving customers and just having them sign on the dotted line and then you're done. It's like keeping that commitment.
Well, I think that if you have a client that comes to you and you end up doing business with them, I mean, it doesn't just stop when the business starts. The relationship with the client continues to grow over time.
Right.
And that's how you get other clients. So I never want my clients to feel like they can't call me. I give them my personal cell. I tell them to call me if there's any problems. And if they don't call me, I actually say, hey, why didn't you call me? Because, you're supposed to call me first, So
but that is so good.
Yeah.
That is so good. And that goes to show your success about why you're so successful in all of these industries, just the real estate, the brokerage, and the insurance as well. Totally. And so, there's so many real estate agents out there. It's kind of a saturated market, I would say, of real estate agents. I know they talk about what the market is like in the housing market, but I'm always thinking that, everybody knows so many real estate agents. So, why do you think finding the right one for you is so important when we could just pick any real estate agent we want? Is there something that you want people to know about that?
Yeah, after COVID, a lot of people did leave real estate because they came in during COVID when you literally put a sign in front of a house and it would be sold, Yeah. And now it's getting to the time where you actually have to work to get the sale.
Right.
We're having home sale contingencies. For example, the house that I have under agreement right now was on the market 6 days. There was only one offer on it. Believe it or not.
Oh, that is unusual. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
and it's a really nice house in Danvers. So you really have to have someone that knows the market, that can make sure that they comp it correctly and that you're getting it in. Somebody that has a relationship with you, knows what you want. Not everyone wants a house just for its walls and its floors. I mean, they want, a certain, maybe they want a pool or maybe whatever they want, or they're going to have children and they get to look at the school system.
Right.
So there's a lot to consider when you buy a home.
Yeah, and I always thought of every time, I haven't bought a lot of homes in my life, but the few that I've bought, I've really bought because of the feeling. Like I walk in, when I walk into the home and I get a feeling and it feels like, I'm safe, it's comfortable, that's what I think a lot of people are looking for too, is the right feeling. And so to have a real estate agent who gets that is really important too.
100%.
That knows what feeling you're looking for.
Yeah, I always tell my clients, I don't have to live here, you do. So it doesn't matter if I like the house or not, it matters if you like it.
Right.
And this last client, when we first went through the house and I said, where are you? She said, I'm at a 9.5. And I go, well, that's pretty high.
Yeah.
So, and they ended up buying the house. So
yeah.
it was great.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That is great. So have you had to maybe, I'm sure you've had to advise your clients against certain things or taking certain offers or anything? Or?
Yeah, when I sit down with a new client that's looking for a house, I ask them what their important things are, and I will try to keep them on track for that. So if they say they need a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and they want to have kids, if they're looking at something that's 1,000 square feet, I'm like, guys, this isn't the house for you, So try to steer them and keep them along the right path is the job that I do.
You work with new buyers as well as seniors and people who are looking to downsize.
Either downsize or right size, whatever, however you want to look at it. I work with anyone. Really, but I really enjoy working with first-time home buyers. I love working with people that are downsizing, and the elderly have always had a kind of a soft spot in my heart. So I really enjoy working with them as well.
Oh, that's great. And there's been a lot of change recently in the laws in real estate, especially in Massachusetts.
Yep.
Can you maybe highlight some of them or explain some of
them?
them?
Yeah, I would say there are 3 changes that are pretty significant. The first being the buyer's contract. And it actually is something that protects the buyers and also protects the agent. So when you bring somebody out to go look at homes now, you have to have a contract in place. I cannot bring a buyer out and look at a home unless they sign a contract with me.
All right.
It can be a contract for one property, one weekend, but I usually do them, I get to know my buyers and I'm not usually working with them for just a weekend. So I usually do a 6-month contract, and that way they know what their involvement is and what my involvement is, and it makes sure that I get paid at the end of the day. So not every listing agent has to give our buyer's agent commission, but they generally do.
Okay.
So my buyer might not want to look at a house that isn't offering a buyer's commission because that's more money they have to come up with to get into the house.
Right.
So it's not just me, it's how my buyers feel about it as well.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really good law because it helps the buyers understand their commitment, and it really explains my commitment to them. So I think it's good for both sides.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's so different from, I don't know, I guess years ago, because before internet and everything, when people could just look at the houses themselves online and decide what they want to look at, you used to have a real estate agent take you around to these different homes. You wouldn't even know where to look. But that's so different now that you can easily just look up on any of the major websites and say, oh, this looks good, that looks good, and these are the ones I want to look at.
That is a good point because I definitely make sure that I go to every house with my clients. Because how can I advise my clients to put an offer on a property that I have not seen? So a lot of them will be like, oh, I don't want to bother you. And I hate hearing that. It's one of my worst things. So it's never a bother. I enjoy doing it. And I get to know the person better, when we're spending time together looking at houses and, we'll find out different things about each other. So I really enjoy that part of it as well.
Wow. Yeah, I imagine that's what makes a difference in the work that you do as well. So you mentioned another law. Was it about the inspections?
The second one that came out was the inspections, which when I met with this first-time buyer, the one I have under contract right now, the first thing I explained to them was that you don't have to waive inspection to get a property anymore, which is a huge relief because so many people during COVID were waiving inspection. They were buying houses that maybe the sellers weren't really honest about everything that was wrong in the house, and then they would find out after. But not only that, if you're a first-time home buyer, you don't know all these different things that are in a home.
Oh,
so if you don't have
gosh, yeah.
somebody walk you through the house
Right.
and explain, what is this pipe for and how do you turn the water off and, what does this electrical panel look like? I mean, you really need someone that goes through it and explains everything in the house. So when you go to live there, you feel like you know the home at least enough to run it adequately.
Right. Yeah, I would imagine that's scary unless you really have a background in that kind of home inspection industry. Like you wouldn't know.
No.
You wouldn't know everything. Even if you knew to look for certain, hot button issues or red flags or something, there's no way you would know everything.
Correct.
So, okay, so that's an important one that they don't have to.
They
feel
don't have
like
to
they
waive
have
it
to waive
anymore.
it.
They
Yeah.
can waive the inspection, but it's after the contract of purchase. So it doesn't, it's not a negotiating tool anymore. That's
right.
the important part.
Right, because what my recollection was that the buyer could choose who they want to, the seller could choose who they want to sell to based on whether or not the buyers were going to have an inspection or not.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if you had two offers and one was waiving inspection and one wasn't, they would go with the one that
went-
was waiving the inspection.
Yeah.
They can't do that anymore.
Can't
And
do
it is
it.
a really good thing for both buyers and sellers, I believe.
Yeah, just brings a whole level of truth and honesty to the table. I would think.
100%.
Yeah. So, okay, so that's the second one. Was there a third one?
Yeah, the third one just happened this month, and it has to do with out-of-state residences. So if you live in Massachusetts and you're planning on moving out of Massachusetts, if you sell a house that's worth more than $1 million, they take 4% and they hold it. And the reason the state is doing that is because a lot of people were leaving Massachusetts and not paying the income tax on that home.
Really? Oh my gosh.
So if you
okay.
live outside of Massachusetts, or even if you live in Mass and you're moving out of Mass, they're going to take 4% if it's over $1 million, and they're going to hold it. Now that doesn't mean you pay an extra 4%. That 4% will go towards your tax on that home.
Okay.
But it's
so it's not just it's not
right.
like coming
It's
out
like
of your pocket.
ensuring that they have a
Yeah.
little bit of money to make you come back and make sure you pay your taxes in Massachusetts.
Oh, that is very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you for explaining
Yeah.
all three of those things, because I had heard about them, but I didn't really, and I heard you talk about them with a couple of other real estate agents, and I never really understood like what it meant to the buyer.
Yep.
But thank you for explaining all three of those laws. That's great. But I do want to talk about all the other things you do in the community. You're a very active member in Chamber and Rotary.
I'm on the e-board for the Executive Chamber. I've been part of the Peabody Chamber of Commerce for almost as long as like 25 years, I would say. I just stepped down as a president of the Peabody Rotary Club.
Wow.
I was the president of North Shore Women Connect.
Yes,
which,
wow.
is now I'm the current vice president.
Yep.
And I love getting involved in the community. And I've never wanted to cold call a day in my life, and I never have. So instead of cold
never
calling,
had to cold call.
I've never cold call. I don't like to be hung up on, and I don't want to call people and
I know.
have them
It's
hang up on me. It's a horrible thing, right?
I don't think anybody likes
No.
it, but
So instead of
sometimes you have
doing
to
that
do
at the very beginning of my careers, I just decided that I was
Yeah.
going to do it by building relationships. So that's what I've done. And I just go and meet people and build relationships, and it's really worked out well for me. And I've met so
gosh.
many nice people like yourself.
Oh,
So,
thank you. Yes, we met through Women in Business Networking
Yep.
years ago. I don't know. I don't know how many years ago it was.
Yeah, a while
now.
back.
It was a while back, and we're in North Shore Women Connect. We're
Yep.
in WOMTech, which is Women on a Mission to Earn Commission.
Yep.
It's a non-compete business networking group.
Yep.
That we've been in I've been in 3 years, I think, many years. And you brought me to that too, actually, now that I think of it.
Woman Tech?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you told me to come to the meeting, and then I
Yep.
joined.
So I have 3 women's ones.
Yeah.
It's Women's Business League, Women Tech, and North Shore Women in Business.
North Shore Women Connect.
Yep.
Right.
And
right.
then I'm in Provisors, which is a really high-end networking group, and then I'm in the chamber, both for Rotary and the chamber in Peabody.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in Peabody, on Peabody Road. I love Peabody. I know so much about Peabody, it's ridiculous. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. And I have to agree with you. I mean, no matter how much time I spend on putting out my social media, putting out stuff on my website, sending out emails, there is nothing that replaces in-person networking, even on those days or those nights when it's, a cold January night and it's
Right.
30 degrees and I just want to be home in my PJs, and just, not go out. But I force myself to go out and do it because it really, really does make a difference.
Throughout the years,
Yeah.
I have realized that if I push myself on that cold night that I don't want to go out,
Yeah.
that's usually the best
Yes.
event that I ended up
Yes.
going to.
I find
So I'm
that
like,
too.
wow, I can't believe I almost didn't come to this and this happened. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Right.
I really think that happens a lot. So the next time you're thinking, I don't want to go.
Yeah, I would say that too. I would agree with that 100% because it only takes one person. Right? Just
Yeah.
one person. You could be in this big room with all these, women or business people or whoever it is, doing all this networking. But if you can connect with one person and then follow up from there, that is like worth its weight in gold. And you're the living proof of that because of how you built your business.
Yeah, and that's a really good networking tip. So people think they have to go into a room and give their business card to everyone in the room.
Yes,
that's like
yes,
the
that's
worst
true.
thing that you can do. Like, because it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
If you go to a networking event and there's a whole bunch of people, try to meet one or two people. That's it, and try to get to know them good.
Right.
Really get to know them and make a conversation and get a phone number and follow up. But if you
Right.
just go in and you try to meet everyone at once, it's so
No.
overwhelming. You'll walk out and you'll feel like you didn't do anything. So
Yeah,
it's a really
totally.
good networking tip.
Right. And being, so rooted in the North Shore, especially in the Peabody area like you have been, what do you think is is there like a certain like energy or feel to the North Shore that you think you represent? Like, is there something like, we're very different from other communities, even in Massachusetts, let alone other states. Is there anything that kind of comes to your mind that you?
I think
you're
we're
like,
pretty
this is-
close-knit community.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me the other day, what is the difference between the North Shore and the South Shore?
Oh,
and I
yeah.
said,
What'd you say? Now I want to know.
we're in the north. We're closer to, New Hampshire and Maine and all
Yep.
those things. So it depends. Like, if you want to live in the North Shore, you want to go that way. If you want to live in the South Shore, you want to go down to Rhode Island or
Right,
maybe
right.
the Cape or down that area. It really depends on what kind of feel you're looking for.
Yeah.
But I really love the North Shore. I love the beaches. I love the history we have here.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of older homes here. It's just, I just love where we live.
Yeah,
I love the
I do
weather.
too.
I love everything about it. So.
Yeah, and living on the North Shore, I find like even thinking about driving to the South Shore for any reason at all is like it's like a huge deal. I'm like, oh my God, I can't drive. You
The
can't
other
get
side of
there.
Boston.
I know, it's like you can't get there from here, because it seems so far away, right? And going around Boston and the traffic and everything. So I agree with you. I love the North Shore too.
I do.
I've been here for many years and I enjoy it. So as part of your work too, looking into the future a little bit, you're looking to bring in more diversity, diversity in your brokerage firm
Yep.
and your business. So how are you doing that?
I actually sold a multi-unit house for a client of mine, and during the process, she was going through a divorce, and she decided she wanted to do more property management and also get a real estate license. So she will be coming on within the first couple of months of 2026. She is bilingual. Her name is Irma. She speaks Spanish, and she's gonna kind of bring me into the Latino population.
Right.
And I want to be more diversified, and I think it's really important to do it. I mean, we have a lot of different diversity in the North Shore.
Yes.
So I don't want to just to be able to relate to somebody who looks like me. I want to be able to help anyone in wherever they're at.
Yeah, that's so important nowadays too, I think. Because, I'm thinking about what you're talking about, how you want your clients to feel when they work with you, that they trust you and that they know that you have integrity and you're committed to them. But now being a business owner and bringing on other staff and other people, you have to, there's pressure. You have to make sure that you're now translating that to everybody. It's not just you anymore, right? It's the people who work with you and work for you that have to uphold that same message.
Yeah, and it's really important for me to bring on the same, as well as that, is to bring somebody who has the same morals and background that I have, representing my name in the business. And I want them to have integrity and honesty.
Yeah.
I mean, those are big words. They're big words, and I mean every single one of them. So I don't want to just bring anyone on as an agent with me.
Yeah, and knowing you the way that I do, I mean, I see you as someone who walks your talk. You know,
Yep.
you live it every single day. You're not just someone who's out there throwing out how, you know, we're committed to helping our clients and that kind of thing.
And then not, yeah.
I know, and I'm laughing because I just went through a whole, episode online with some software issues and everything, and so I'm on the customer service, you know, the AI that eventually was a human, and it was kind of like, rest assured, we really care about you and your business. I'm like, you don't, you know, you really don't. You know,
really
you
don't.
just want me off the phone so you can go on to the, you know, to the
Right.
next thing. And it's like, it's so frustrating, but that's why it's so important when we meet someone like you that really does walk the talk, that you live it every day.
I talked to a realtor just today and asked her how she knew somebody that I knew was selling a house. And she said to me, I don't really know them. They're just a client. I thought that was so weird because every client that I've ever had
Yeah.
ends up being my friend.
Yeah.
Like, you go through this process and
Wow.
they're not just a client, they're a friend after that, you know?
Yeah, right.
So I can't
That's so
imagine
important.
going through the process with somebody and saying, oh, I don't really know them, they're just a client.
Especially because it's such a deeply involved process.
Yep.
It's very personal. It's, you know, you're really interacting with, you're getting into someone's like life and their family and their finances
Yep.
and everything. I mean, you're seeing it all. You get the history, or if there's a, you know, a divorce or something, it's like you get it all.
Yep.
You can't just, I don't think you can just think of it as, you know, just a client
Yeah.
that you don't really know. That's so important. Definitely. So because you've been doing, you know, you've been doing the insurance for 25 years and the real estate for 10 years. And so that kind of longevity really does send a message, you know, that I'm sure you've had people that have like come around after, you know, many years of knowing you and saying, okay, I'm ready to sell my house, or I'm ready to buy a house, or
Yep.
whatever. I'm ready to, you know, and for me, it was the right time with my insurance.
Yeah.
You helped me
So
with
a
my
lot of people
insurance.
ask me, you know, how do you know what hat to wear at what time?
Yeah,
And I
that's
kind of
true.
stay with the hat of whatever I'm wearing at that time. I don't want to overwhelm anyone. And, you know, if they're my
Right.
insurance client, I'm not like talking to them about real estate and vice versa.
Yep.
But I don't keep it a secret either.
Yeah.
I let them know that I have another career. If they want to, if they need my help in it, that's great. And if they don't, that's fine as well.
Yeah.
But I really want to be their agent for insurance or for real estate, and I don't want them to feel like I'm mucking the waters. Do you know what I mean?
That's really important. I'm glad you mentioned that. Definitely, because you do a lot of things and you're involved in a lot of different areas of the community and everything. So I can see how that could be like, okay, what am I doing today? You know,
Right.
like which meeting is this about, or what call is this about? But you're able to compartmentalize it for
Yep.
people, and that's really helpful, definitely. So let's talk a little bit about you personally. I mean, this podcast show is called Rise, Heal, and Grow, but is there a way that you stay, you know, grounded and centered so that you can continue to rise, heal, and grow on your own journey? Like, how do you do that? Do you have any like personal practices or habits or anything that helps you?
Well, I got a Peloton during COVID,
Yeah.
and that has been a godsend for me. I really enjoy my Peloton and,
Right.
you know, taking the time to take care of myself.
Yep.
I have two awesome dogs that really help ground me, and I love spending time with them. And about a year ago, this girl, Irma, that's going to be joining me, helped me get to a church that I started going to, and that's really helped me a lot
faith.
too.
Yeah.
My faith and prayer, and just knowing that there's a bigger thing in this world besides just us here. And that really has helped me a lot. And it has brought me to different stages in my life.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get that, because there's probably so many things on your plate in any given day. It's like, how do you step out of that? You know, like you get into like who you have to call now and what you have to do and the paperwork you have to fill out and all those things that you can easily get lost in. But what you do is you set aside, you say, I'm going to commit to the Peloton, and I'm committing to this faith work and spending time with my dogs. Yeah.
You got to have time for yourself.
You've got to.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I think part of growing up in a large family, I don't need a lot of downtime. I'm kind of somebody who likes to be busy.
Okay.
So, you know, I don't like to just, I'm not a couch potato at all. Like, unless I'm like watching a movie or something, but I don't want to just sit on the couch and do nothing.
Yeah.
Because I get antsy and then I got to get up. I'm just like my dad who's 89 years old. He's the
Wow.
same way.
Wow.
He's like, I can't sit down, Cindy. I said, I know, Dad. I'm just like
Yeah,
you.
you got the same gene.
Yep.
Oh, that's great. So looking ahead to the future, the future of you, your work, your career, your brokerage firm, is there anything, like what's next for you? Do you have a vision of where you want to go or a goal or anything you want
Well,
to share?
as far as my insurance goes, I just started with this new company January 1. I've had the best year that I've ever had in
Really?
insurance this year.
Wow.
I think I'm going to do over 400,000 in new business this year,
Wow.
as well as
New business.
In new business,
Wow.
yeah. So, and I doubled I'm going into my third year. I doubled my first year.
Oh my God.
I just signed up with a coach for my second year to help me to bring on a person.
That's great.
So I just signed up. I did that.
Yeah,
So
good
I'm
for
really
you.
looking forward to growing my brokerage and
Yeah.
continuing to write insurance and see what the next chapter holds. I know it's
my
going to be
God.
great to bring Irma on.
Yes.
And to continue with all my networking. And I just met somebody this morning that I'm going to probably starting another networking group.
Oh my goodness.
So
Wow.
I'm going forward.
Yeah.
So
oh, definitely.
it's going to
I
be
love
a
it. You're
good
charging
2026.
forward. I
I'm
love
charging.
it. I love it. So tell us how we can contact you. You do all these different things. How can people find you if they want to work with you?
I would say you can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram. My phone number is 978-580-7044. It is plastered everywhere. All my clients call me on my cell phone. As long as you don't call me at midnight, I'm fine to take your call. But I work on weekends and I work pretty much 7 days a week. So I'm pretty easy to find. Just Google me. You'll find me.
I agree. Cindy, it was so great having you on the show today.
Thank you so much, Leah. You're
for being
sweet.
here. This
I love
was so
you.
much fun. I love you too. Thank
Okay.
you. And thank you, all of you who are watching or listening today to Rise, Heal, and Grow with Leah M. Hill. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe on whatever platform you're joining us for today. And join us again soon because we have lots more episodes coming up.